Hey, Susie Mae, I'm home.
Hey there, young guy.
What the heck is this?
Well, this one here is down dog, big dog.
Well, that's a big problem because you said you were done with yoga.
Oh, you gonna be mad at me, John guy?
You're recording it too? Like, what are you doing, OnlyFans again too? Come on, Susie Mae, this is going to be a little ridiculous, don't you think?
Sorry, John guy.
We need to have a conversation. You've been lying lately, committing idolatry.
I ain't committed adultery. I had one affair one time, John guy.
Well,
I said sorry for that. That was a long time ago.
I didn't say adultery yet. I said idolatry.
Oh, it sounds
But
the same.
it is spiritual adultery. And first thing is first, actually. You should put this on instead of what you're wearing, because modesty is important also. I think that's another reason why people shouldn't do yoga, is because everybody who does yoga does it in skin-tight clothing and
Well, so you
tank
can move
tops
more
and-
efficiently, John guy. I
Yeah.
had a sore back. My back was hurting.
Well, then you can do Pilates, or what's that thing that was popular in the 90s with the, you remember that? Like, I went like this all the time. And it was like Taibo or something like that. You can do that.
Well, I'm probably not very good at Tai Bo. That sounds a little bit like Tai Chi. I bet you that's pagan too.
Well,
And I bet you Pilates is just revering Pontius Pilate anyway. You think that's a coincidence?
I do, actually. Because Pilate was just a Roman guy. He wasn't like a god. But maybe. You never know. I just think Pilates is more of a just a regular exercise. And like, what is yoga? What does the word yoga mean?
The definition of yoga? I think that it means to yoke.
Yeah, yoke with what?
Well, with God.
Mm-hmm. And all of those, when I came in, you said you were doing down dog and up cow or something like that. So that's presumably, you do those poses to yoke with the dog god or the cow god or the
Well, I don't
whatever
know.
other kind of god.
I think that in yoga and Hinduism there's God, there's the creator God, the God who created Brahma. And you got to yoke with that God, the one who created everything. But
Yeah.
he's not the God in the Bible. I can almost guarantee that. He's got lots of heads, that Brahma. Got many heads, round and round heads, maybe like 4 heads.
That sounds like the beast in Revelation. It has the head of a man, a head of a lion, and a head of a goat, and the head of an eagle or something like that.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is. I think all of those old gods they're like in Genesis. It says that the giants were on the earth in those days, and the fallen angels came down and whatever. It says that they became men of renown and men of strong name and reputation. Like, so all of the
One of the big gods, one of the most important gods in Hinduism is Shiva. He's the dancer god. God of the dance. There's even a pose called Dancer's Pose directly for Shiva. He's the one that destroys everything.
Mhm.
They destroy and they create and they recreate and they destroy again. There's a big
think that's
statue of him dancing outside of CERN.
well, they're definitely destroying stuff there. But those are those people. They'll worship. It seems like they'll worship any god but the Most High God, and it's idolatry.
He's a big blue god. A lot of them are big blue gods. Maybe they were Nephilim. Is that what you were saying?
Probably.
And now that I'm thinking about it, they have gods that have different heads. Like one has the head of an elephant, one has the head of a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what book we read it in. Maybe it was not in the 66 books. I think it was not in the 66 books, but it talks about how there was all kinds of abominations made with the
It's the Book of
watchers and the
Enoch, I
people.
think.
It's the Book of Enoch, I think.
It says they defiled animals.
And then they made all kinds of creatures with animal heads. I ain't never thought about it before, but maybe Ganesha, the elephant god, was made by a fallen angel.
Yeah. Defiling an elephant, right?
I don't know. No, actually the daddy cut the little boy's head off. He came down from meditating on the mountain and he went and his wife was taking a bath so that the little boy was guarding the door, and then when Shiva arrived, he saw the little boy wouldn't move, so he cut his baby's head off. And then he felt a little bit bad and his wife got mad at him. Then he ran into the forest and he found an elephant, and then he killed the elephant. He put the head of the elephant on the baby. And then there was a boy with an elephant head that grew up, and he was the scribe. He was the one that wrote all the holy books.
Wow. Is that because an elephant never forgets?
Maybe.
Oh man, those gods are. There's a lot of stories like that in Hinduism, isn't there?
It's a little bit violent, yeah. But let's be honest, the God of our Bible was violent sometimes too.
He was, but he killed.
The bad guys.
Well, he killed the people that were making human elephant hybrids. And he killed the abominations, and he didn't just indiscriminately kill regular people who weren't doing anything. He killed people who were irredeemably wicked, or people who were abominations created by angels and humans coming together and making elephant-headed people, or dog-headed people, or pig-headed people, or people with 3 heads, you know.
Is all that in the Bible, John Guy?
Yeah.
You're making stuff up.
No.
You called me an adulteress.
No, I called you an idolater and said that yoga is spiritual adultery. And spiritual adultery is what it's called when you're supposed to be figuratively married to the Most High God. And so the Bible calls it whoring after other gods. When you go and follow other gods, you're whoring against the God that you made a covenant with.
A lot of people said that yoga's not doing other God stuff. It's just an exercise. They even do yoga in churches, John Guy.
I know they do, and those churches are
They're just regular
abomination.
churches. They're just normal churches.
Yeah, they don't read their Bibles, I don't think, though.
But they say that they have Christian freedom. They're free in Jesus Christ, so they can do yoga if they want to do yoga, and they just don't think about the spiritual stuff. They just pray Jesus.
But not thinking about something doesn't mean that it's not true. It doesn't mean that it's not going to affect you at some point.
But don't you remember when we were talking to that Anglican guy, and the Anglican guy told us that because he was in Christ Jesus, it was okay to like an obelisk?
Mm-hmm.
That was his obelisk. Now, he reclaimed it in the name of Jesus Christ.
Well,
you don't think you can reclaim yoga in the name of Jesus Christ? I heard that Jesus used to do yoga. You know, there's like a big stretch of time in the Bible when we don't know what Jesus is doing. They said that he was doing yoga in India.
Well, there's lots of people that say lots of things, and I think that
they said that he was an ascended master. Just
Mhm.
like Krishna, just like Buddha. Jesus was, one time I saw a meme and it was Jesus and Krishna and Buddha, and they were all walking together, and the implication of the meme was that they were all one.
Well, if I was the enemy, I think one of the things that I would try to do would be to either esteem other gods like ones that I created, or lower the importance or lower the station of the Messiah so that everybody thought that, Christ was the same as Buddha or as Krishna or whatever other gods. If you elevate those guys in importance and say that they were all the same, they were all just really smart, righteous people, I think that's actually one of the reasons why people work so hard to say that Christ was just a man, because then if he was just a man and Buddha was just a man and Krishna was just a man,
We can be just like
we
them.
can be just like them.
That's it. They say that the second coming of Christ is when Christ just wakes up inside of you,
Mm-hmm.
and we can all be just like Christ. But then they
Yeah.
don't want to do. You say we can be like Christ if we do the Torah things, but they ain't doing the Torah things. They just being nice and loving everybody.
Yeah.
They said that Jesus only had 2 commandments. It was to love and to love.
Yeah, and you do have to love, but there's more to it than that. You have to love the Most High God.
And how can you love
And
the
your
Most
neighbor.
High God? Probably not by doing yoga.
Definitely not by doing yoga. And I think that, like in yoga, they have the Kundalini spirit, which is a snake, right? It's a snake that coils all the way up your spine, and the snake head is at the top of your head.
Oh, I
And
didn't think
then-
about it like that. That's real clever. They
Yeah,
say that
so
the coiled snake is sleeping at the bottom of your spine, and they have chakras, all the colors of the rainbow, except for, funny enough, red is at the bottom instead of red being at the top. And
Really?
it goes through Roy G. Biv all the way to the top of the colors of the chakras. And when you do yoga, you're supposed to awaken that snake energy. And that snake's, now that I'm saying out loud, it's awful creepy since we know who the snake represents. But you're supposed to wake that snake up, and you're supposed to wiggle it out with all your up dog and down dog. And you're supposed
What's
to
up,
wake
dog?
it up. What's up, dog? I was doing up dog when you came in, I think.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit like, you know what it looks like? It looks like another pose that's called cobra pose. A cobra's a snake too.
Yeah.
They look real similar. And you got to wake the snake up, and it's got to pass through all of your chakras, mean something different, and going to come all the way up. And then once it gets to the top of your head, you're going to be yoked all the way to that God that's up there. That's not the God of our Bible.
No.
But some people say you can do yoga without doing all that other stuff.
Well, I don't think so, because the poses are tied specifically to worshiping those gods.
They really are. The most popular one, I was almost getting into the flow of it when you busted me when you came in the front door. You came home early, John Guy. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, if you weren't doing sneaky stuff, then you wouldn't have to worry about any of that.
Well, I wasn't expecting you home so early. Kind of be just as bad as seeing me in bed with some other guy.
It would.
Maybe not as bad.
Well,
Do you think God feels the same way, though?
I absolutely think he feels the same way.
You think that me doing yoga is the equivalent of you walking in the house and seeing me in the bed with some other guy? That's awful.
I think that's how God looks at it.
That's awful.
Yeah.
But God wasn't looking at it like that if I was doing Pilates or like a spinning class or something like that. Or if I was going jogging.
No. Because those things aren't tied to the worship.
But what if
of
we
another
untie
God.
it? What if with my
No.
Christian freedom I can just untie all of those links?
I don't think you can do that. I don't think that's how it works.
I can't reclaim yoga, reclaim the obelisk.
I don't think so. I just think that those things are what they are, and we shouldn't want to try to change them.
You don't think you're just being a big old stick in the mud?
No, I don't think so. I think that we should just do what God says, and I think that we should take our relationship with Him seriously, and that we should.
But they don't
not
have
worship other
examples of that
gods.
kind of stuff in the Bible. When you're talking about cheating on God, when you're talking about, there's no commandment that says you shall not do yoga.
Well,
Find
no.
me a place in the Bible that says that you can't do yoga.
Well,
A commandment or
it's
something like that.
idolatry. It says not to do idolatry. There's not commandments specifically against or for a lot of things, but that doesn't give you freedom to just do whatever you want. If it's tied to the worship of another god, then it's idolatry. It's putting another
Thou
god
shalt not
before.
idolatry,
Yeah.
where it said that shall not be an idol. Oh, it actually does.
It says you shall not have any other gods before
Oh,
me.
that's the first commandment. You think doing yoga is breaking the first commandment?
Well,
That's a big first commandment. He put it right at the very beginning.
Yeah, and it's breaking the second commandment too, because the poses are usually people do them in front of those little statues of the gods, right?
I got rid of all those little statues of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
They were made of brass. They were brass statues.
Yeah, and you even give offerings to them when you go to the Hindu temples, right?
Yeah, I always burned incense. Even in my house, I was burning incense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was given little miniature banana. You know those little mini bananas you can buy? I bought the mini bananas and I gave them to the little statues. And then when there were certain festivals and stuff, you would actually put little outfits, like you would dress up the statues. You would put little dresses on them, bring them flowers.
Oh man, that just sounds
They have some
wicked.
of that stuff in the Bible. They do, but it was never made God happy.
No.
He never wanted you to be doing anything with any statues. He didn't even want you to make any images of him.
No, he wanted you to flee from that kind of thing, actually, and love him, do what he says. And I think the reason that many churches do those things anyways is because they've kind of chopped out those parts of the Bible and they think that they don't apply to them anymore. So they don't read them, they don't know.
Well, they just think it's not a sin.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a sin to do yoga?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a sin to do Pilates?
No.
Do you think it's a sin to
It's
go
not a
for a
sin.
brisk walk?
No, it's not a sin
Lift
to
weights?
exercise, but just regular exercise isn't tied to the worship of another god.
What about something like karate or Tai Chi?
I don't know, because Tai Chi is,
It's a spiritual practice.
yeah, it's some kind of
Doing
energy.
movements to the god of the chi.
Mm-hmm. But martial arts is just fighting.
I don't know. There's
But
a meditation aspect to that too.
Yeah, there is. I think a lot of it has to do with unlocking some energy that's inside of you, or allegedly inside of you. But I think that it's not actually inside of you. I think it comes from whatever spirit you're opening yourself up to. So you should probably not do those things either.
Oh, I didn't have any plans to do no Tai Chi, John Guy. Just trying to understand where you're coming from.
No, not just an example of why you shouldn't do yoga. Because all of those things, energy manipulation and opening yourself up to spirits, all of that stuff is the same. They just call it something different. And you shouldn't do any of them.
When you talk in a real low voice like that, it's almost like you're hypnotizing me and you're making me feel like I'm about to fall asleep, John Guy.
Well, I am very tired.
I can see that.
I had a long day at work today, and then I came home and my wife was doing yoga and lying about it. So
That's very stressful, John Guy.
it is.
I'm real sorry about that.
Well,
I knew it was wrong, though. I would be a liar if I said that when I rolled out that yoga mat, I wasn't feeling a little guilty about it.
mm-hmm.
I knew. I even double checked the lock. Forgot that you had a key.
Yeah, key to my house, my own house.
You walked in, you must have been awful freaked out.
I was a little bit.
I even told that lady in the hot tub the other day who came from Texas, I told her that
Mhm.
doing yoga was bad, and I told her all the reasons why it was bad. And then fast forward to just a couple weeks later, and we back home. I'm in the southern United States now, maybe Texas, I don't know.
Backsliding into yoga poses. Yeah, that's not good. And lying about it is.
Even worse.
They used to stone you in the Bible for doing that stuff.
They
For
stoned you for doing yoga in the Bible?
well, for committing idolatry, they did. Yeah.
But that's the whole point. Jesus came. So now they don't stone people for doing bad things anymore because we
Well,
free in Jesus.
they don't stone people for doing those things now because God's grace is very, very powerful, and because the blood of Christ made atonement for us. But that doesn't mean that we can just keep going on sinning. Like the Bible says that when you come to knowledge of the truth, to continue in sin is like crucifying Christ again.
That's in Hebrews, ain't it? That's in the new Bible.
The one in Hebrews says if you continue sinning, there remains no more sacrifice for you, no more atonement for you. The one about crucifying Christ again is, I can't remember what book that's in. Colossians, maybe. But they're pretty much saying the same thing, that if you keep on sinning, there's no, like Christ can't come back and die again and cover you with his blood again. You know, that's kind of a one-time wiping clean of the slate.
Yeah, but that don't mean you're going to be perfect after that moment that you give your life to Christ.
No, but you should at least try. And like God's long suffering is great and his mercy is great and it endures forever, but it's not infinite. Like those people who say that you can sin 24 hours a day for the rest of your life and never overcome God's grace. Like, think about that for a minute. That's clearly not true. Like, sinners
I don't think
make
he's a
it into the
pushover.
kingdom.
I don't think, like,
No.
there's like real bad parenting when the parent says something and the kid does the wrong thing
Mm-hmm.
and there's no consequence for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's like that.
No.
I think he's very fair and I think he wants what's best for us. So he puts rules in place.
Yeah.
And if he just lets us break them all the time, we ain't learning nothing.
No, we're not.
But he's not going to strike us dead.
No, probably not.
He's not very happy. He's shaking his
Mm-mm.
head at me. He's saying, "Oh, Susie Mae, I just can't believe it. You such a hypocrite, Susie Mae. You imagine if Jesus saw me doing yoga today, he's not going to do yoga with me. He's going to say,
Mm-mm.
"Oh, Susie Mae, you're better than that, girl. Get up off the ground. Don't do the down dog and the up dog.
No.
Stand up and go pour me a glass of water from the well.
Yeah.
Go and sin no more. Get me some water from the well and go and sin no more.
Mm-hmm.
I love you and I forgive you, but stop doing down dog, Susie Mae."
Yeah. Stop doing all of those.
I understand, John Guy. I'm really sorry. I feel sometimes like a broken record. I just keep hitting my head. You know, in yoga, there's something called samsara. There's something called this. It's this brutal cycle that only a bad God would let you go back and around and around and around. Oh, I'm hypnotizing you, John Guy.
Yeah, you are a little bit.
But it's like I keep doing the same stupid stuff in a row. And it was like that when you caught me drinking in the hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like that when you came home and I was lying to you about doing yoga. I just had a real bad back, John Guy, and I didn't know what else I should do.
Well, if you go on YouTube, there's all sorts of.
I used to have a really
videos
great
about
Reiki
that.
practitioner. Maybe I could phone up the Reiki practitioner.
No,
It's no yoga in Reiki.
no. But
Just
it's
working with energy. She don't even touch you. She just put her hands like that and all of a sudden you feel better.
That's like
There's energy coming out of her hands and she's aligning your chakras.
That's like the equivalent of a psychic. Like a psychic does for your mind what that person does for your body.
Oh, I didn't think about it like that. Psychic tells the fortunes.
Supposed to purportedly tell.
I bet you all that stuff is in Deuteronomy saying we ain't supposed to do it.
Yeah. I'm definitely not supposed to do it.
No yoga, no Reiki, no fortune telling, no tarot cards, no oracle cards. Susie Mae can't eat the pork. Susie Mae. So I look around and I see all the other Christians that I know doing whatever they want, but I can't do anything because you got your dinglings on your pants.
Mm-hmm. You shouldn't want to do those things because you should want to love the Most High God the way He says He wants to be loved. And you shouldn't want to do those things.
I didn't really want to do those things. I'm just used to doing those things. And I look around and everybody else in the whole entire world is doing those things.
Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean that
The
you
whole
should
world,
be doing it.
everyone's doing those things, John Guy, except for you and a few weird people you know on the internet. Ones with them big beards. Girls with their turbans on their heads and the boys with the big beards.
Yeah, well.
Everyone else in the whole world is doing it. See, you got a bad back. You know what you need, John Guy?
You don't have bad eyes.
You need some yoga.
Mm-mm.
You need some Reiki, John Guy.
We could do something else.
You want a massage?
Maybe.
I won't give you an energetic massage. I'll just give you a straight up Swedish massage. I don't think there's anything bad about Swedish massages, John Guy.
That sounds pretty sweet-ish.
Ah, ha. I heard puns were a sin, John Guy.
No.
You gonna get punished for those sins, John Guy. Oh. I'm real sorry, John Guy. I won't do it again.
Well, if God can forgive you, then I probably can too.
I hope he can. I feel like a bad kid sometimes.
He will if you don't just keep doing it unapologetically. I think.
Thank you for forgiving me, John Guy. I love you.
I love you, Susie Mae.